Hey, insight number 3. Sorry, number 2 went for so long, but there's some really, really good things, and I love the 5 to 7, the verses 5 to 7 about hypocrites, um, because I see that in myself and I see it in others, and it's not a judgment. Go watch it. Go if you haven't seen Insight 2, go watch that because it really just helps you think about, are you doing that kind of behavior? Because I see it in myself every day too. And I try not to, but it's there. So it's something to be aware of and improve on. Not to judge yourself on, not to tear yourself down, but to improve on it. Okay. So we're going to go into verses, I think 10 and 11. Yeah, 10 and 11. I was right. Or just a little bit down, so it's not too far much longer. Verse 9 is about beware, and then we're going to go into verse 10. So there's a warning in verse 9, and then we're going to find out why. So it says, "And now come, saith the Lord by the Spirit, unto the elders of his church." Okay, remember that's everybody, because it just goes to the elders, and then they go tell everybody else. It's just how it was done then. This is for everyone. "And let us reason together, that ye may understand. Let us reason, even as a man reasoneth one with another face to face." And by man we mean mankind. Reason one with another face to face. And it goes on to talk about why it's good to do that. And we're going to talk about why that's 12 and 13, and talking about how you ask a question. Really good stuff in there. But I just wanted to focus on, we're encouraged to learn together and to be gently tutored by the Lord, and that the Lord will, I've got to hear it. Our spiritual education comes bit by bit as we grow and are ready for the next thing. And that's how Jesus Christ teaches us. And for these guys back in 1831, he gave them this much because that's what they're ready for. And today we probably have, this much because that's what we're ready for. And each person will gain a little bit as they need it. And that's just how it works. Line upon line, precept upon precept. We've heard that. This is what it means. But we are encouraged to learn together. And this goes back to last week when we talked about spiritual gifts, and that actually if we learn together with a diverse group, not only do we get other people's opinions, we get other people's viewpoints, we can understand how they see it. The quote that I have from Sharon Eubank, and I will use it again if I can find it because it was just amazing and fits here too. "Innovation and creation are spiritual gifts. We can think of different solutions, different approaches, and different applications." So we need to learn together as a group because it is different applications, different approaches, and that helps us learn the precept that the Lord is giving us easier and better, and from everybody's point of view and how they see it and how it looks for them, how it works in their lives. We need to be tutored by the Lord together. That's why we have Relief Society meetings. That's why we have Sunday school. It's why you have priesthood quorum meetings. It's why you have youth classes, and we gather together. Now, during COVID, that's been difficult. Most people are heading back now. Be very grateful if you are. I'm hoping that you'll appreciate it more, because learning together has a different element to it than learning separately. Learn separately too, but we're meant to discuss things together. That's how we work in our minds. That's how a human brain works. Discuss it with other people, get their viewpoints, figure it out. Anyway, we can reason together because the Spirit resides in those conversations if we have Jesus as our gentle tutor. So there shouldn't be contention in these conversations. These should be conversations that we can bring up a question and someone can answer it, and we can all be like, "Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, we don't know more about that. We want to know more about that," or whatever. But there's no contention. It's just it's a kind discussion. It's the best way to put it, I think. And we can share experiences and come to concluded answers we can then pray about to see how that fits with us. So it's not like right then and then we go, "Oh, yeah, I believe in that." We can go, "Oh, I like that. I'm going to think more on that this week." That's what it is. Okay? And remember, we all bring something of value to the table. Again, going back to last week with the spiritual gifts. What do you bring to the table? We all bring something of value to the table. When we're having these discussions, we all have something good to offer and bring. Elder Uchtdorf, he said, "We must realize that all of God's children wear the same jersey. Our team is the brotherhood of man. This mortal life is our playing field. Our goal is to learn to love God and to extend that same love toward our fellow man." So we need to do that when we're having these conversations and being tutored gently by the Lord, because He's going to teach us these things little bit by little bit. but we need to be able to discuss them together and come to conclusions. I do that with my husband. I do that with my friends. I do that sometimes with my mum. I'll bring up like, have you read this? What did you think of that? Did you think it meant this? And, have that. She'll be like, no, I don't think that. I thought it meant that. And we'll have that discussion. And there's not contention in it. I can have a different opinion than someone else. I can understand it differently than someone else. But then we get to go and pray about what we came to a conclusion about and see how it fits with us. It's really cool. We should counsel together. All right. So it was a kind of quick little number 3. But some good stuff in there, just because we have a little time, even though the last one was so long. He goes on about how to ask a question, because they were asking a lot of questions. This is, how to know about spiritual manifestations. And he asked them a bunch of questions about how to know from God. This is playing into before we get to go into the next one, insight number 4. Basically, you can answer these questions yourselves. You just got to pray about it, and you got to know. And if you're having the companionship as as the Holy Ghost, then you'll know. You'll just know. And if you're not in that space yet, work on it to be there. And if you're in that space, work on it to keep it, because it's an amazing thing to have. So there's a little insight at the end of it for you before we move on to insight number 4, and I'll see you there in a bit.